Well, you read about Arkansas politicians in the news every day. For those long gone, you might read about them in a history book. For some, you might have just heard a story over lunch about their legend. Well, we start a new series today called Political Animals. It's just me sitting down with some great political storytellers from around the state and letting them share their behind-the-scenes stories from a lot of the famous politicians that they've had the pleasure to have known or worked for. We're right around the corner from the birthday of the late, great Dale Bumpers, former U.S. Senator and Arkansas Governor. He'd be 95 later this month if he was still alive. I asked attorney Bob Edwards to share a story about one of his earliest Dale Bumpers experiences.
I started working on Dale Bumpers' last U.S. Senate race in April of '92. I was a volunteer. I'd asked my brother John, how do I get hooked up with Senator Bumpers? I'd really like to work on his campaign. He said, well, one good way is just to start volunteering, and I'm sure after the primary they'll be hiring folks. Senator Bumpers did have a primary that year, and I did, like my brother said, I was volunteering at the Bumpers headquarters, which was over on the corner of 15th and Broadway. And it was probably a Friday afternoon. I'd graduated from college the year before. I was taking some night classes at ULR, trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life, and thought, well, maybe this would be a way to find out. So I was volunteering. In any event, it's probably about 4:30 on a Friday afternoon, and there's no one there in the headquarters that late except for me and Betty Floyd. Betty Floyd was the office manager. Her husband, Don Floyd, had worked for the senator years ago as his chief of staff or office director here in Arkansas, and she was very close with the senator. So she was in her office, and I was in the back foyer of the campaign headquarters packing up the last of the yard signs. We probably had, 500 yard signs left, getting them ready to ship out. And the senator walks in, and I'd met him before all my life. Everyone in Arkansas had met him at some point, but that was really the first interaction I'd ever had with Senator Bumpers. I was, on the floor packing up signs, and I look up at him, and here he walks in by himself. I'll never forget it. He was wearing a gray suit. He looked like he always did on TV. And he walks in, and he stops, and he just stands and looks at me. Who are you, young man? And I said, well, I'm Bob Edwards. I'm John Edwards' brother, Cynthia Edwards, who worked for the senator. I'm her brother-in-law. And what are you doing? I said, well, I'm packing up the last of the yard signs to get ready to ship out in time for the primary. He looked around, and he put that left hand on his hip like that. He started pointing. Are you telling me these are the only yard signs that we have left? Well, yes, Senator. Well, do you know if we've ordered any more? And I said, Senator, I don't know. I said, I'm just a volunteer. Is Betty Floyd here? And I said, yes, Senator. Betty Floyd! Betty Floyd! And Betty comes running to the back. Yes, Dale. Betty, are these all the yard signs that we have left in the headquarters? Well, yes, Dale. No one's told me to order any more signs. And he looked at her and he said, Betty Floyd, I have over $1 million in the bank. I'm not going to lose this damn election for not having enough yard signs. And then he looked at me and he pointed his finger at me. He said, Bob, I need you to go order me some yard signs right now. Yes, sir. So that was my very first conversation, very first experience I'd had with the senator during that campaign. I go into the front office, and it's about 5. I asked Betty, well, where do we order the signs from? She gave me the number for AdCraft, a local printer here in town. I call AdCraft, and they answer the phone. I said, yes, this is Bob Edwards with the Dale Bumpers campaign. I need to order 50,000 yard signs. And they're like, 50,000? I said, yes. And they're like, okay. to this day, it's my first order of yard signs ever made and my largest order of yard signs ever made. But I can tell you this, we never had to worry about running out of yard signs the rest of the campaign. And that's a true story.